Hello everyone out there, this is AJ from Late Night Productions, coming to you with an episode of Subnautica Below Zero, which came out just last Friday. You may be wondering why we're doing a second stream this week and why the other one is no longer available. It's because we found out the day after, which was yesterday, that stream had absolutely no audio whatsoever. So, we're redoing it, and hopefully this one's better. With me, this time, is Red, as always. Say hi.
Hi. Are you live at the moment? Because it's not showing.
I should be live. Hold on. Please don't tell me to erase my controls. Oh, it says I'm live. Why is the video not showing up? Hold on a second, folks. Why is it? No. Edit. It's not. No. Public, please. So that's why. Okay, so the first little bit of this video was accidentally.
That's why.
So now, should pop up. Yep, there it is. So, like, I'm sorry, like, the last little bit of this video was apparently accidentally private. So, hi, I'm AJ.
Hi, this is Rooster.
And this time we have, say hi.
Hello, it's me again, Ashtar.
Have you officially come out of the homework mines?
I am been done with school for about a week. I do have a bunch of obligations to do over the summer, but for the most part it should be fine. I'm saying this questioningly because I'm not sure.
The reason we're doing another stream this week is because the one that we did on Monday, and we didn't figure this out until yesterday, absolutely had no audio. And
I just checked, the audio is working.
Very good, very good. So we're not going to leave our fans with a no audio live stream. That's just not fun, in my opinion. So, here we are to try again.
Doing it?
Yep. Subnautica Part 1, Take 2. That's just not fun.
Yeah, and it's totally working. I just checked it one more time to be on the safe side.
I heard myself.
Yep.
So, anyway, ready to start game, guys?
Yep.
So, being the person here who played the early versions of this game before the story was altered, I will point out the things I remember being altered, but the story itself, unlike the original Subnautica, I know nothing about the new one, so do not expect me to be a well of knowledge like I was last time.
So you can't be our little supercomputer this time?
I could try and pull up the wiki, but I'd rather not try.
Look at the bottom, it's so cute!
Yep, I want to leave some of the stuff in the dark for myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will not be able to help as much this time.
Here we go!
The farthest I can take you on company space bucks, Robin. You sure you want this?
Ooh, this is
The
different.
research is in everything.
It is to me. And Sam. We need to know what happened.
The meteor storm.
This is super
Use
different.
it for cover from Altera's eyes.
Gonna miss you, Robin.
I'll find my way back.
Here we go!
Yeah, Jack
That
said
was-
the guy, and he was saying it was like, got changed like twice or something like that.
Surface temperatures.
Surface temperature of the meteor hitting our ship.
Well, this is different.
Ow, 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 ow. Are we dead?
So, in the game... Well, I'll explain when this is done.
Let me out, let me out, let me out! There's fire in here, let me out! How much strength would that have actually taken, I wonder?
You do things when you got adrenaline running through your system.
True.
Probably quite a bit. Yep.
So, this is much different than the beginning of the original. You started in an Altera base, originally. Where you were just going out into a snowstorm to investigate an odd signal. And then an avalanche, swept your base away.
Mm-hmm.
Smokes. That did not go as planned. I should find a way into the water
I believe-
to the drop pod.
This is a different voice actress too, huh?
Yeah, she originally was British, and even Jack kind of made a comment about that.
Originally, she sounded a lot more American. I'm gonna have to look up who the voice actress was versus who it is. Yeah, no, this is weird.
Over there.
I'm used to the tutorial from the old version.
Why is it all jittery on the stream, though?
Because you are
Streaming.
going on stream and you're sharing it with us.
Yeah. So I should mention that when I was playing it, there was not a temperature gauge.
I need to get in the water. But, remember we had this problem...
When I was playing this...
Oh, go ahead.
There was just the health, the hunger, and the water gauge, as well as the O2 gauge being where the temperature gauge is now. So they must have added that at some point since I've last played.
Ashtar, I hate to do this, but in order for me to get better frame rate, I'm gonna have to cancel the Discord stream to you guys. Can you watch it on YouTube? I know you're gonna be 30 seconds behind, but it's the only way where I can get decent frame rate anymore.
That's okay with me.
That's what you've already been doing, though, hasn't it? I'll tab for a second. Okay, turn off this.
Let me just...
You do have access to my channel, right, Ashtar?
Yeah, I'm subscribed. Don't worry about it.
That was a friendly sound. Come here, Bletterfish.
New creature discovered.
Gonna have to mute the stream so I don't hear echoes.
It's alright. I will open my PDA when I want to open my PDA.
So, much like in the original game, there's a lot of returning fish. So the bladderfish and the hoopfish and some of the other flora and fauna from
the first game
return. Yep, there are some new stuff though, and I'll mention that when they come up.
I'm just grabbing stuff before I head to the pod, you know?
Yep. For the most part, temperature... I don't recall temperature being too bad.
I haven't had an issue yet, but... Like I said, still early game, you know?
Yep.
More titanium!
What will kill you now is losing your health or running out of oxygen. What will kill you later is going to be food and temperature.
Come back, little fish. I just want to eat you. Or drink you. One of the two.
It's kind of implied that you're using the membrane to filter the salt from the water.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't a good noise.
Yeah, I should mention that there is a void in this game, like the last one. There is an edge of the world, and they do have a quote-unquote Leviathan out there, but it's just a recolor of another creature.
Found the drop pod.
All the Void Leviathan is in this game is just a bigger recolored version of another creature that does more damage, and that is it.
Right now I need more food than I do water.
So we won't be seeing anything like the Ghost Leviathan.
Oh, those things, ugh.
Yeah, those do not exist in this game as far as I know. Something else takes their place.
First priority is getting a bigger oxygen tank as well as some fins, I think.
Yeah. First thing you always want to do in Subnautica is get a better oxygen supply and get a way to be able to swim, to get further with that oxygen supply.
Fiber mesh and titanium, so I think I need a knife first, so... A knife takes...
To get things for fiber mesh, yes.
I need silicone rubber. Okay. That shouldn't be too hard, hopefully, to find.
Yeah, it won't. Silicone rubber isn't the worst.
I almost forgot to eat.
Well, Sam, I guess I might as well gather some tools and resources before starting my search.
What are you?
That radio tower's as easy to spot as Lil said.
I have to wait for the stream to catch up.
All Terra supply cache nearby.
Same here.
Sorry, guys. I wish I could have it, showing to you in real time. What are you? I just caught a little red fish.
New creature
Okay,
discovered.
so the big fish is the whole fish.
Oxygen.
The small ones are, I believe, symbiotes.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do with it?
Well, they angie. Symbiotes swim around the whole fish, which, if you go through the middle, gets you some air. So they're called symbiotes because they protect the whole fish from predators. They're sort of like biters, except, they only show up around whole fish.
Should I keep it or should I get rid of it?
I mean, you can cook it and eat it if you want to, but I'm not sure how good it is compared to other things. Also, you see the Arctic peeper just swimming about.
Yeah.
So for the most part, Arctic peepers work like regular peepers. They just have a different look with the extra fins.
Well, they're suited to their environment.
They're more streamlined.
I probably shouldn't be swimming out this way, but there's stuff over here that... Oh, what are you? Come here.
Giving it a few seconds. I believe that's newt fish.
Newt fish?
They're called that because when they feed, their mouths, Oh, no, that's not the newt fish. I saw a newt fish earlier. That I don't actually know what the name is. You're gonna have to scan that. That's a new creature. I don't recognize that.
I don't have a scanner right now.
I do not recognize that.
Oxygen.
I know
that must have been added since they left played.
I know I need oxygen.
I did see a boomerang just get eat.
Well, right now I'm full up on food, so... I'm afraid to let this little fish go, to be honest.
It's like a biter, so it will probably just do a bit of damage and just leave you at that.
Nutrient bar.
Although, back in earlier builds, you couldn't pick up the symbiotes. They were just like biters. They just kind of were there as a nuisance.
There wasn't really that much useful around here.
Oxygen.
So, it's nice to see that you can pick them up since they're so small.
It's actually kind of cute, in a I'm gonna bite your face off kind of way.
Yeah, that
It
beak
almost looks
doesn't...
like a parrotfish.
Kind of. The beak is a lot sharper, though. Mostly because this thing eats meat instead of portal.
New blueprint synthesized.
Think that's enough creepvine clusters?
Probably, yeah. I'm guessing they're just colored red because of the different environment.
Hey, why don't you steal this, you evil little sea monkey?
Ah, yes, the sea monkeys. So, here's how they work. If a sea monkey sees you with something it is interested in, so usually like a tool or something shiny, it will come over to you, sort of play with you, and then steal it, and then you have to go back and sort of give them a flick on the nose and take it back.
Creature egg. No thanks.
Sea monkeys aren't dangerous in the slightest. They will not attack you. The most they'll do is just annoy you.
Oh yeah, they really annoyed me when we were first doing this. I went to get some... Was it the seed clusters red? I don't remember. But I went to get something and one grabbed my knife.
I think you were trying to get creepy.
Pretty much. The rule with sea monkeys is if they see something shiny, they'll try and take it. So your scanner, your knife, anything metal like that, they will look at and say, "I want this."
What is this?
So you have to be
Creature
careful
egg.
around them.
Okay, no thanks.
Pretty much what you do is as soon as you see a sea monkey getting too close to you, you just switch up to something you know they won't take, and they'll swim away. It's annoying, but it's better than having to swim after them to get your shit back.
Ow!
That would probably be a symbiote taking a chomp out of you.
My house is that way.
Yeah, you're reviewing with the leg. That wasn't symbiote that took a bite out of you.
Well, it was or it wasn't?
It was. You got too close to a Titan bullfish, and a symbiote just took a chomp.
I don't like being chomped. It's not fun.
Again, symbiotes are the least of your worries. We'll probably meet some of those later.
Oxygen.
Especially if we expand further out, I want to say... from the pod entering.
I remember watching our mutual friend play this game, Ashtar.
Bonds contain electrolytic materials that can be used.
Yeah, I saw that he was playing it as well. He got it a while ago.
About that, my disconnected.
Our mutual friend got it a while ago, back when it was in beta. He played it a bit in beta and then pretty much just dropped it until recently.
Yeah.
I played a lot more of it. Like, he's played the very early beta, like near alpha. I played it till, I want to say, like halfway through the beta before a major update. I played it just before the major story update happened.
So, apparently, a clean, lean meal tastes like reconstituted lobster. Huh.
Probably because it has, armored plating. I'm not going to pretend to know what the actual biology of these creatures are, I just know what they might be based off of. Perks of wanting to be a marine biologist.
Now I have a knife. Now I can defend myself. Kind of.
It is better than nothing. This game does not want you to fight level on these creatures. It wants you to understand that these creatures are sometimes more than you can handle.
I learned back in
the game really.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
The first Subnautica game does get this point across very well with limiting what you're able to do. It's just sometimes this is more troublesome than it is.
Like I said, I learned back in early Subnautica, the first Subnautica, you are just a tiny, insignificant speck in this micro universe, macro universe, one or the other.
Macro.
Yeah. Ooh, scanner! Perfect! That's exactly what I needed.
All right, I have a scanner.
What?
Nothing.
Sounds like you were
I'm just
giggling.
No, it was a sigh. Yeah, so unlike in the first game where the character was nameless, this character actually has like a proper story and
Name and all that.
Name is actually written well. Like, she has her own entries, as you saw from the left of the screen. Whenever you make something or something like that, she actually puts a personal entry into the log. It gives her a bit more. It gives her a lot more character than the person you played in the original Subnautica, who I think canonically has some sort of name, but it's just like you have to go through so many hoops to just figure out what that is.
Yeah. Penguins!
The character, I say in eye quotes, of the first game is just a player foil. The character in this game actually is a character. Although for the most part, she does fall into character foil a bit.
What is character foil anyway?
It's when somebody makes a character specifically to insert the reader, player, etc. Into the role of that character. So they're pretty much just almost a blank slate.
I went the wrong way.
With the bare minimum needed to have this character not just be, overpowered Gary Sue or Mary Sue or Gary Sue, but at the same time doesn't have enough character themselves so that the player, reader, etc. doesn't feel like they're their own entity, and that they can play or experience the things through that entity as if they were that entity.
Ooh, lead. That's useful.
It's kind of hard to explain. but it is effectively making a character that isn't made by the person themselves, but sort of as a player character to that person.
Oxygen.
Yeah. Yes.
That makes me think of Half-Life, how they did it with Gordon Freeman being like smart, but he didn't really have a lot going for him until he put on the suit, and then you actually made him into his own character.
Yeah, Gordon Freeman's sort of a good example because Gordon Freeman does have his own sort of story if you look into it, but for the most part, he is just a blank slate for the player to experience the game through.
You never have enough titanium.
That's what the character in Subnautica 1 was, is a near blank slate for the player to experience the game through.
You know, even on low graphics, this game is pretty.
Yep. The one thing I can always praise about Subnautica is that no matter what the graphics are, this game will always look pretty.
This will never get old.
Yeah, unfortunately, the problem with early game is that you kind of have to go back and forth a lot. This also happens a lot in the original Subnautica, where you only have really one safe place to start with, and it takes a while before you can make your own.
Give me the fiber mesh, so I can have more oxygen.
Adding additional blueprints to your databank.
I'll get kids from
Oxygen tank can be upgraded for deluxe and VIP upgrading.
This kind of makes me think of Far Cry Primal, where you basically have to start off from nothing and build up to it. Not too crazy about Far Cry Primal. I tried it. It is a survival game, kind of like this one.
Yeah. This game accentuates a lot more of the point of... Well, the first game accentuates the point of your ship crashed, you gotta survive and get off this planet by any means necessary. So you start with a lot less than Robin does here. You start with only, like, the bare minimum of what a single escape pod would have. So only, like, a couple of nutrient bars, a couple of waters, and, like, a health kit.
Grav trap! Grav trap!
Yep.
Grav trap
makes it so that... Pretty much it makes you understand that unless you put your best foot forward, you will die. This game starts you a lot better off since Robin purposely sent herself off of a ship and made sure the pack a little better than the original person, because that was an emergency.
Oh, did I tell you about my first ever death in this game, Ashtar?
You told me about your first ever death in the original, not this one.
Well, in this one, a fish decided to freeze me. So I ran out of air before I could unfreeze myself. Make sense?
You see, that must have been added later. I don't recall fish doing that before.
Our mutual friend said it was a fish that shot water at me. Very, very cold water.
Yeah, that must have been added later then.
How did I miss this PDA? How did I miss this?
My first death was something that you have not seen yet.
Ooh, mineral detector fragment. This will be useful. No! No! No!
New blueprint synthesized.
You'll see in a hot moment.
Oh, now we see it.
Give me the beacon. I want the beacon. Give it to me.
Oh yeah, no, they hate light, by the way.
Seriously?
The sea monkeys hate the flare light.
Huh.
Now with surface support.
So if you are holding onto something and you want them to leave you alone, you can switch off of it. But if you switch to a flare, they will actively run away.
Yeah, I think they're cute, but they're annoying.
I'm guessing the red light spooks them.
I don't know.
Something about the flare spooks them.
Well, it kind of makes me think of how predatory animals act with pretty much the same thing with fire with red. They don't like it, and it scares them.
Thing about sea monkeys is they're passive to you, and for the most part they only eat small fish. I'm guessing something either about the sheer brightness or the color is what makes them panic.
I probably shouldn't go down here, but I'm going to do it anyway.
For the most part, the first hostile creatures you'll meet are in a very certain area. And this is not it. Ah, yes, these.
No,
Those
the
are new
oxygen
edition.
Nice.
Yeah, those are a new addition. So I've seen two things. The sea monkey nest is if something gets stolen, like a piece or one of your things, and you don't get it back from a sea monkey before you lose them, you'll find it in one of those. Two, the oxygen plant was added in very early game below zero.
30
Actually, like
seconds
it's been
of
there since
oxygen
alpha.
remaining.
Oh, there's one over here.
So
Swim!
for the most part, it's there because they knew that the caverns would be a lot deeper and a lot more complex, and they didn't want you to have to constantly go back up for air. There's also
No! It's gonna hurt.
Yep. So the starfish, I forget what they're actually called, but those weird fish that are swimming about by spinning. Those are, well, an edible fish.
Ooh, silver.
They're weird.
Silver is useful.
Edible. Yep.
I'm listening to
Okay.
you guys, but I'm mostly kind of just talking mostly to myself at this point.
So
Warning.
fun fact about the
30
silver
seconds of
outcropping name,
oxygen
Argentite,
remaining.
Argent or Argent or however you want to say it is the old name for silver.
Will I make it in time? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're fine. That cave isn't too deep anyway. I should mention, for the most part, stalkers are replaced by sea monkeys, so. The only fish that I know stay around from the original Subnautica are the bait fish of,
No!
For a second I thought that was something else. Boomerangs, bladderfish, and what was the last one?
Cold. Very cold.
Yeah, now that's been added. Oh, so these are actually
Root system.
the things you were seeing, no, touching down, the
Oh no.
icicles you're seeing touching down.
Yeah.
Those are actually called something in nature. I forget what
Brinesicles.
the actual names.
They're
Brinesicles, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Oxygen.
currents
Oh, no.
of cold water that come down and touch the floor and then freeze everything on the ocean floor.
Yeah, I've seen them, or at least videos of them. Oh no. Yay for small grace periods. Right, I should find my way back to my home, huh?
Yeah.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
I mean, we're working behind Altero's back.
Yep. We're naughty people.
Well, Altera's not a nice people either.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a, remember in the original Subnautica, you get this creature egg and it lets you, hatch a little friend or something like that?
Well, you can do that because there's creature eggs. There is an aquarium you can do this with.
I know, but you know exactly, do you know, the, oh god, what's the name of the fish?
No, there's nothing like Reginald's.
No, not Reginald. No. You only find like maybe like 3 or 4 of these eggs are really rare in different places. Oh, for the love of criminy. The one that looked like they had an arrow on their head, and...
The cuttlefish?
Yes, cuttlefish! Thank you!
No, they are not in this game.
Aw, sad.
Unfortunately, cuttlefish is not in this game. it's a lot more limited about what creatures you can raise because creature eggs in this game are a lot more sparse.
Yeah.
Unlike the first game where you can raise nearly every type of creature in an aquarium, unfortunately you can only really raise small fish and the few creatures that have creature eggs.
Yeah.
And since there's a lot less edible fish here that you can do that with, and not every large creature has an egg. In fact, I think fewer of them have eggs than in the original. Eh.
Need one more piece of copper. Oh.
Are cuttlefish edible in real life? I don't remember. I don't think they are, but I'm not 100% certain.
I'm not sure. They are a type of cephalopod, and I do know that they are probably closer related to the octopus, but they themselves are their own thing. I don't think cuttlefish are edible.
I don't think so either. I think they are used for fishing, but I don't think they're edible themselves.
I don't think so. That is a maybe.
Battery and silicone.
But
okay. I thought I made a battery. I thought I did.
I think you used it to make the scanner.
Oh, I think you're right. Well, isn't this awkward?
Should probably get rid of that creep vine before it goes bad.
It's already bad, dude. So
The lag isn't that far behind. It's like 10 seconds or so behind now.
All your food is just gone bad.
Not intentionally. There, copper. Yay.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that if you're not careful, food will go bad. The first game is really bad about telling you when this will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also really bad about telling you how much power you have in your things unless you mouse over them. In this game, at some point, they added the bars around the tools and the food to show how good or how much battery power is in the tools and how good the food is.
How long do you normally have before the food goes bad?
Oxygen.
Sorry.
Raw. The food has. I don't know what it is, but it's a certain amount of in-game ticks. Raw, before it goes. There's, I think, like 2 stages to it. First it goes old, and then it goes rotten.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, no. It goes spoiled, and it goes spoiled, then it goes rotten.
I'm assuming it doesn't take very long because we haven't been on the stream long and it's already gone bad. So.
Raw food doesn't take too long to go spoiled and not too long to go rotten. Cooked food goes to spoiled and then old, and that does spoil a little faster than raw. Cured food, which you need salt for, takes a lot longer to go bad.
Makes sense because it's just like real life.
Yep. So for the most part, cooked food will give you the best bonuses for like more food and water out of the food, but curing it will make it stay longer.
Come on.
The only problem with
Oxygen.
Shite.
the only problem with curing food is that it does cause your water to go down.
Okay, I learned something just now, guys. If that happens, start mashing the space bar.
Yep. But yeah, cured food does cause your water to go down a bit. It's the trade-off for it lasting a lot longer.
Well, I mean, at least water's relatively easy to get, so yeah.
If you look to your left, look to your right, look behind you, hey, guess what's there?
For the most part, water is not going to be a problem in this game. It's going to be a little rough early game because you have to specifically go find bladderfish to go get your water. But later you can make a machine that just
does it for you, but it's a giant energy sink.
Yep. But later you can just subsist off the water you get from that.
Oxygen.
I need oxygen.
Mid-game is where you're going to start having water problems because bladderfish are going to be a lot more sparse, and you probably wouldn't have made either an aquarium to have just infinite bladderfish, or the machine to allow you to get water. And if you have, you can't reasonably sustain it.
Right.
Because like AJ said, it is a power sink.
I mean, it makes sense. The bigger the item is, the more power it's going to use, the more batteries and mats it's going to use.
Well, it doesn't use batteries, it pulls energy from your base.
Yep.
So how do you replenish that, out of curiosity?
Solar panels, bioreactor, take your pick.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. The easiest way to make is solar panels, which as long as they are pointing and have access to the sun, they will generate a decent amount of power. Not a lot, but a decent amount. They're also pretty cheap. There's the bioreactor, which is pretty expensive, and you need to fuel it specifically with like creatures or other, biological material. All biological material has its own like power value for how much power it will actually fuel to the base, which is hidden unless you look at the wiki or just figure it out yourself. It generates a lot more power, but it is variable on what you put in it. And then, I don't think the nuclear reactor is in this game, but it might be. The nuclear reactor is a little less expensive than the bioreactor, and gives you a steady source of a lot of power. The only problem is that it's finite. Because you need to find a certain mineral to make the batteries for it, and it is not easy to find that mineral. And that mineral is not infinite, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. The last one, which I know is in this game, is the thermal plant. The thermal plant isn't that useful in Subnautica 1 because the only place you could use it was a certain biome. Same issue with this game. The thermal plant generates energy depending on how hot the biome is to a certain point. It is also steady. It is cheaper than... It is a little more expensive than the solar panels, but cheaper than the... Probably about as expensive as the nuclear reactor. But the amount of power you get out of it isn't as much, but it is renewable.
I'm telling you, Sammy, you see some weird things.
So can you have more than one power source at a time, or is it just one, or you have to pick one?
The sea monkeys again?
You can have more than one at a time. The major downside to them is that the solar panels only work during the day.
There's no such thing as a curse.
Yeah.
The nuclear reactor can make shit irradiated, and you need a special suit for that, and that is why I'm thinking that is not in this game.
In a cave, not far from your lab. And here's the extra weird part.
The bioreactor, again, is variable. That's the downside, is that unless you know what the best thing to put in it for power is, you're gonna be just
Its skin just seemed off.
not using it to its best.
An alien on planet 4.
And even then, to purposely always put
I'm
the best
serious, Sam.
into it, you have to
Something
make
ain't
a
right.
specific aquarium for
I can
it.
show you, but I can't get back in there.
You can, but I might know how to.
Whatever you're thinking, we never had
Which
this
is
conversation.
even more resources. And the
Well,
thermal...
Like the aquarium might be worth it though in the end.
Yeah, aquarium is worth it for not just power purposes, but for food purposes. It's just that you have to do a lot of work figuring out what the best biological material is. And the thermal reactor, as good as it is for being steady and relatively cheap, is only really useful in certain areas, and is very limited in where you can really use it as a good power source. So for the most part, early game, you're going to be using solar panels to make a lot of your energy, and then later you can either install bioreactors or nuclear reactors, or if you're in the right place, thermal plants.
The mineral detector will be infinitely useful for us.
Hang on. Sorry, a bit of water went down the wrong pipe.
Okay.
You okay there?
Yeah, it's fine.
Nothing dangerous can be this way, right?
We know some of the biome names, so don't expect me to know this as well. The first dangerous biome you will probably run into is the Twisty Bridges.
Those bridges, they sure are twisty.
You'll know them when you see them. Man, did they take that creature out?
Ah!
Oh no, maybe they took him out.
What creature?
There used to be a creature in here that looked very similar to an extinct creature known as Anomalocaris. It was... there's no good foil for it from the original Subnautica, but it was a friendly little creature you could sort of just grab onto and swim around with. It tended to spawn in the kelp forest, but I haven't seen it.
That sounds kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, it was a friendly creature, and again, you could just sort of hitch a ride on it for a little bit. But I haven't seen one, and they used to spawn in the kelp forest, so either it spawns in a different biome or they just took it out.
Welp. At least I didn't lose anything.
Wow, what was that red and white explodey fish?
Crash fish.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the original Subnautica as well, and they are annoying. They only spawn in caves, and they come from those weird red flowers.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get too close to a flower, it will open and the crash fish will spawn, make a very strange gurgling noise, and start swimming after you quite fast.
Mm-hmm.
If you are too close to it, it will, or if it reaches you, it will explode.
Is it normal for insta-death like that?
It's not instant death, it just does quite a bit of damage. Also, it is still in the game.
What is still in the game?
Metacritic is what it's
that.
called.
Hmm.
Yeah. Their general behavior takes inspiration from seals, but the actual body shape is from the carids. Which are very old predators that used to exist.
I'll probably end up mistaking this, but weren't they around during around the, say, Cretaceous period?
Cambrian. They are extinct.
I figured as much. I mean, there's still a lot of creatures that we thought were extinct or didn't know, and they're still underwater. So yeah.
Hey, I finally got the thing for the Sea
What?
Glide.
Yep. But to give you a general idea, Cambrian period is, let's see here.
No.
Warning. 30 seconds of
It
oxygen.
only lasted 55.6 million years, but it's about... How many millions of years ago was this?
Hmm.
541 to 489.4 million years ago, plus minus 1.9 million years. Also known as very far away from Cretaceous.
Yeah, I was way off on that one.
It's fine, not a lot of people actually know that creature, so I'm not gonna harp on you about that.
I knew it was prehistoric time.
No. Give that back!
Some of the wildlife down here is very...
Give that back! Give that back! Give me back my tool! How do I get it from him? Oh. Give me that! It's not funny!
They just want to play.
Oxygen.
Oh, I need oxygen.
Keep the
Oh,
flare
good,
out.
you got it back. It looks like you had a bunch of sea monkeys floating around you too.
Yep.
Yep. I don't actually... I know there is a creature called sea monkey, but I think it's some sort of, like, prawn?
They are very tiny. They're almost microscopic animals in real life.
Drug.
Seriously? I heard crash fish. Where are they?
Somewhere.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
And this is how I die. One. Where's the second one? If I can find their holes, I can get sulfur. Useful.
Yeah, for some odd reason, instead of powder, it is now crystallized. I'm guessing that's because of different environment, but drug.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
But I
That
need
might have just been a design choice they wanted to do.
I gotta get out of here.
Oxygen.
Oh, geez. Oh, come on. I'll be fine. There's always that little bit of anxiety, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like the caves aren't too awfully deep, where if you had to get out, you could.
Yeah, these particular cave systems aren't real deep. There are deeper caves in other biomes, but by that time you either have a better oxygen tank or there are more oxygen plants around to subsist on.
Yeah.
The thing about the oxygen plants is they didn't used to have a cooldown where as soon as when you grab them they would sort of close up. After you grabbed them, you just waited about 5 seconds and they were ready again. They must have added that cooldown actually quite later, because that used to be there before the big story change. That was actually there into pretty late beta.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going in a random direction.
So, is that like a stone structure around there, or is it just... What is that?
Hmm. These are actually the twisty bridges. These are just... I don't know if they're, like, actually made of anything, but they are stone that is...
They're the trash guys.
made exactly
Yeah,
what it's
that's
called.
what I was
Guys,
talking about. It was like, oh, twisty bridges, okay.
Yep, they have some sort of algae growing on them.
Astro, do you know Morse code?
That sounds like a distress call.
SOS?
Transmission of unknown origin. Source of transmission.
That literally just says SOS, SOS, SOS.
200 meters.
What, the pips and stuff?
Dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot? Yeah, that's SOS.
So maybe someone's calling out for help.
Well, that's why I said this sounds like a distress call, so yeah, obviously they understood Morse code.
Yeah, no. One of the only Morse codes I remember off the top of my head is SOS. Despite having looked at the Morse alphabet multiple times.
And the only reason why I know that one too, and I had to take a look at it and go, oh yeah, you're right, is the Titanic.
Skill is right there on the machines, so it's fine.
Hmm?
You can scan the coral bridge if you want, so it is coral. Just be careful around here.
That.
And that is why.
Please go away. Please don't bite my face. Please don't bite my face. Please don't bite my face. Don't bite my face. Do not bite my face.
I was thinking that's what they look like were sharks.
30 seconds.
Yeah, they're
of
brute
oxygen
sharks, is what they're
remaining.
called. They are the replacement for the sand shark.
It wants to bite my face.
Unlike the sand shark, which is an ambush predator, these things are just very angry. They're bull sharks, effectively. They're very territorial.
I think I should go make a sea glide. That will probably make going down a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Sand sharks were only in the red kelp zone and were ambush. Brute sharks only tend to stay in the twisty bridges and in a couple other areas, and are very much bull sharks of if you get too close, they will start to come to try and bite you. And that distance to get too close is...
Fun.
It is a decent distance for most aggressive fish.
So
And
I
all
take
in all,
it around means he's following her?
No. As aggressive as they are, they don't tend to follow you outside of their biome. This was a major problem in the original Subnautica, where certain creatures would follow outside of the biome. If you do catch a brute shark's attention at the edge of this biome, it might follow you for a bit, but eventually, if you lose it, it'll lose interest and eventually make its way back.
Oh, so they have their own leash laws as far as Subnautica is concerned as well?
As far as Below Zero is concerned, Subnautica had a lot more lax leash laws, and certain things would get stuck in biomes if they passed too far into it, and would just kind of get stuck there and not really know what to do.
Hey, Ashtar. You remember when, just for fun, we went into creative mode
30 seconds
and spawned like every Leviathan in the game in the safe shallows?
Yes, so one of the things about Subnautica's AI I know is that certain creatures like sand sharks do have a very good leash on them, where if they go too far out of the red kelp zone, they'll eventually make their way back. Things like stalkers, however, have a lot more lax leash law, where if they go out of the kelp zone, they can still stay in the safe shallows relatively close to wherever they left off, because they spawn in other areas so easily. So I'm guessing, just like before, it depends on the creature. If it's the brute shark, which does spawn in multiple areas, I'm guessing if you go to an area where it can, stay around and be, that isn't the safe shallows or whatever it's called, then it will keep following you and stay there. But if it goes here, then eventually it'll make its way back.
Gotcha.
That might not be the case as much as I think it is, but as far as I know, I didn't have any brute sharks stay in this area in the
Copper
beta.
wire, battery. Okay.
Calorie intake recommended.
I need to find some fish.
Yeah, because you were running low on food.
Yep.
And food is good.
Yeah, the one thing about Subnautica is that it does give you an option to play without food and water if you really want to.
But what's the point?
Subnautica, a lot of the gameplay of Subnautica is better with the food and water.
New creature
It
discovered.
feels like the proper experience to play with that.
Yep.
Although, this is a little something extra. I do not recommend playing in hardcore.
Why, may I ask?
So, in both the original and this Subnautica, the hardcore difficulty isn't needed for any achievements or anything like that. All it is there for is for a challenge for people who want it. So hardcore does not change the amount of creatures spawned, nor where creatures can spawn, nor the damage of creatures. All hardcore does is make it so that if you die, your save file is deleted.
Seriously?
Yes. As far as I know, it does increase some values here and there of it is harder, like, certain things, like those boxes, have less of a chance of spawning, like, food and water in them, or just anything in them, period. So it is a lot more common to have those boxes be empty, and the damage of some creatures, it seems, is increased. But for the most part, other than damage increases and a famine of pre-made food and water, it doesn't really change much else. Hostile creatures can't spawn in the safe shallows. The amount of hostile creatures that spawn in places they can spawn isn't jacked up to high hell, and stays relatively the same as it does on normal or survival. Otherwise, the only difference is that if you die, the game file is deleted. So it really is just it's pretty much a challenge mode for those who really want it. I think I could complete this game without dying once.
Picked up what sounds like a distress call. Who or
There's
what
no
is
reward
out
for
here
it,
calling for help?
and there's no point other than
Sounds
just bragging
human.
rights.
Maybe it's from a remnant of architect.
As far as I
technology.
know, it's the same with this
In
game.
her message, Sam's colleague did say there was something important here. Even if it's just a mimic from one of the more intelligent aquatic specimens, that could be a major find. Or if it's from Altera, it could have bearing on what happened to Sam.
I do not know if
Definitely
I
check it
I
out.
do know creative makes it so you can't get achievements, but other than that, playing on casual or survival will get you achievements. I mean, hardcore will also get you achievements, but there's no achievement specific to doing hardcore. Again, it's just bragging rights.
Whee!
So one major change that was done with the Sea Glide is not only is its dome a lot better looking, you know, the sprite and model are a lot better looking than in 1. The flashlight and terrain scanner are a lot better made.
My problem is it keeps
So instead of the
flickering like
terrain
this.
The terrain scanner that the thing had in the first game was pretty bad. As you can see, it gives you like proper elevation now. Instead of just showing you a flat map, it actually shows you the elevation on the thing. So you don't have to adjust the map on the Sea Glide to see what the elevation actually is. That and the light is less stupid. In the original game, the light didn't actually light up a lot and made everything have this weird blue tint that made it sometimes harder to see things. The blue tint is still there, but it's a lot less noticeable, and the light seems to actually do its job better.
And that probably helps with having alpha and beta, that way they can kind of work out the kinks.
Well, again, Subnautica was their first try at something like this, and even then, they probably improved the lighting a little bit for the Sea Glide, as far as I know. Because it was pretty much identical to the one in the original game.
But there's nothing else here for me, so off I go.
Yep. So, the Architect artifacts are sort of like the precursor things from the original
I remember
game.
precursors.
I don't know if the Architects are the same as the precursors, or if they're different aliens that were on the same planet. Because this is supposed to be the same planet as the original Subnautica, just in a different area, just further north. Again, I do not know if the Architects are the same as the precursors. They might be different, they might be the same things by a different name. The only point is that whenever you scan an artifact that is an Architect, it will disappear and put a tracker. I don't know what scanning them all does, but shrug. Have you gotten stuck?
No.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
I'm going to die, aren't I? No! I found a way out! Freedom! Oh, come on. No, sea monkey, no! Like I said, thank God for grace periods, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's one of the praise I'll give with this game is that when you run out of oxygen, it doesn't immediately say you're dead. It gives you a few seconds before it says you're dead.
Gives you like a small grace period.
Yeah. You're not considered dead by the game until your screen goes completely black and you hear the death noise. If you reach the surface at any point before it does that, you will immediately go back to full oxygen. Your vision will come back, and you'll still be where you were.
Hey, look what I found, guys. Grow beds.
Yep.
Those will be useful.
There are differences between exterior and interior grow beds, mostly with what they can grow.
Is that mainly to grow food?
Mm-hmm.
Or resources that are just annoying to find. So certain plants, like, if you don't want to go all the way to like one of the kelp forests just to get creepvine, you can grow some creepvine in one of the beds and just have it there at the base.
That's a friendly sound. Oh my, what are you?
This is the thermal vents. This is a rock puncher. So in the original game of Subnautica, rock punchers were going to be added in, but they never made it. They are unused content that you can put back in the game, but they never actually made it fully. They are now in this game, because it was such a good idea they wanted to do it. So, that is a creature from the original Subnautica that didn't make it in, that made it in now. They're giant crabs, effectively, with...
Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Instead of claws, they have sort of blunted, spiky fists that they punch open rocks with.
Mm-hmm.
Because they eat the minerals.
I have a feeling I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Just a feeling, you know?
This is the thermal vent zone. There's quite a few dangerous things around here. The rock punchers, as long as you don't get too close, won't punch you. For the most part, rock punchers aren't hostile unless you get too close. And then you will see fist meet face. You're not at the void.
No.
Where is this again?
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Oh, you're back in Twisty Bridges. There's another biome somewhere around the thermal vents called like the purple vents or something like that. I don't remember. I don't remember what the actual name is, but it's a bunch of like purple thermal vents.
Oh! Whoa! Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh no!
Hello.
Not funny, Ashtar.
Again, brute sharks aren't the problems.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Again, the closest thing I can think of that a brute shark is a sand shark, and it's fine.
If I remember correctly, sand sharks are basically like if you don't bother them, they won't bother you.
Usually, except that brute sharks are a little snappier about it. For the most part, a lot of like damage numbers and health numbers and everything like that are about the same as the sand shark, but their AI is closer to the stalker, where if you get too close, then they will take a bite at you.
Warning. Passing
I do know there is one more
100
predatory creature
meters.
somewhere around
Oxygen
Twisty Bridges, but it is
efficiency
deeper.
Jeepers creepers. Where'd you get them peepers?
I think in one of the promotional videos for Below Zero, you actually see the creature that I am mentioning. A dude is expecting it in I think a sea moth, and it chomps the sea moth.
Rebreather! Oh, that's gonna be useful.
Yep. Rebreather is one of the most useful things you can have. In not only this game, but Subnautica as well.
All
It extends the
error
limit
detected.
of
Hold on.
Unique identifier.
how deep you can go
Devastation dock.
before you start consuming double oxygen
Station.
to, I think,
This is
it's
the
either
place
150 or
Will mentioned in
200
her
meters.
message.
So like a rebreather on a scuba tank?
That's exactly what it is. It is called rebreather.
Warning. 30 seconds of
what it
oxygen
does.
remaining.
Up until you reach that new limit, your oxygen, the amount of oxygen you consume is halved. Then when you hit that limit, it's back to, 1 times, and then if you hit another new limit, which I think is 300 meters, it goes back to double. Whereas if you got to 300 meters somehow, without losing all your oxygen, without a rebreather, I think it's like you consume like triple the amount of oxygen or something like that.
Can you upgrade your rebreather?
No, rebreather stays as it is. For the most part, though, a lot of
100
going
meters.
deeper than 300 meters, you
Oxygen
need to really
efficiency
deal with like a
increased.
vehicle.
Gotcha.
You yourself are really not meant to go further than that, and vehicles make it a lot easier than just
30 seconds
swimming
of
down there with a
oxygen
sea glide.
Makes sense. You really don't need to do that anyway because of the air pressure on your body in real life.
Yeah, well,
Kill you after a certain point.
this game doesn't take that into
Oxygen.
account, but it mostly just prevents you from going too deep by making it where if you go too deep with your body, you just take more and more and more oxygen after certain thresholds.
Mm-hmm.
And by having vehicles, you can quickly pop into the vehicle and refill your oxygen and not have to worry about running out of oxygen, going deeper than 300.
Yep.
Typical root sharks.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
The only problem is that I think in this game that the Sea Glide is more of a battery hog.
Probably.
It's at 15%.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no, that battery is draining a lot faster than it did before.
Until I get the sea truck, not much I can do. And I need the mobile vehicle bay to even make that.
Yeah, so I think the Sea Moth is still in this game, but I think the Cyclops is replaced by the Sea Truck. I'm not sure, though. Current suit is still somewhere around, but it's going to take a while before you can get that.
Wiring kit, fiber mesh. I can make this. Actually, it won't probably take that long to make this right now.
I might be a little bit slow. I got a puppy in my face.
Aww.
Doggo.
He's like, give me attention. Now, you've been on your computer long enough. Give me attention. Give me all the scritches.
Like, dog, please. So, the main danger areas are the twisty bridges, and I want to say the purple vents are where most of the dangerous stuff lies. Although, unlike Subnautica 1, you will spend quite a bit more time on land in this one. Subnautica 1 literally had like 2 islands and the main ship, and that's all your on land would ever be.
Grab trap! Grab trap! This will make fishing for me so much easier.
One of those islands was plot important. One of those islands was not plot important and was lore important instead. And the ship was both plot and lore important.
Oxygen.
I'm not losing body heat.
As someone who lives in cold weather, this does not work this way.
Remember, I live in a cold, well, not cold right now, but in winter, yeah, it gets real cold where I live.
You're slightly further south than I am, so...
Yeah, you're in what, pre-Canada or something like that?
Minnesota is...
Pre-Canada.
The Mississippi freezes over, and that should all that needs to be said.
I was gonna say, you got the lake effect over there.
There's the twisty bridges in all their glory.
Let's see if there's anything interesting
I've seen
down here.
Pictures of people who've got their cars over near, say, I know it's not the exact same area, but like Chicago or somewhere near the Great Lakes, and the waters will come over
Warning.
the
Passing 100 meters.
edge of wherever the
Oxygen
parking lot or something like
efficiency
that is at,
decreased.
and their cars completely iced over.
Yep, that'll happen.
Three, two, no? Okay. Yeah, methinks I've already been here.
Probably.
Warning.
Twisty
30
Bridges is
seconds
very
of
easy to get
oxygen
lost
remaining.
in. Then again, Twisty Bridges isn't the largest biome. There's a very good reason why they put all these oxygen plants around.
Mm-hmm. Particularly,
This looks like it's really easy to get lost in.
particularly I don't think I'm
Yeah,
supposed to
not
be
only is it
down
really
here
easy to-
yet.
No, you can be down here. Again, there's a very good reason why they put all the oxygen plants around. It's not only so that if you come here a little too early that you'll be able to just barely survive,
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
but so that if you do get lost, then you aren't completely boned.
Huh?
Hello?
Huh? What?
Is someone there?
In a manner of speaking. We're running out of time.
Ah, yes, this particular story beat
You guys heard that too,
What?
right?
earlier. Yeah, this particular part of the story was much earlier. So this entire cavern up ahead was attached to elsewhere.
Hmm.
It actually existed up on the surface near where the base used to be before they changed the story.
What is all this?
And this is similarly an alien signal was coming from it,
I can help
but
you
instead
better
of,
if
you know,
show
coming down
yourself.
from the ship, you had to investigate because of the odd signal, get caught in a blizzard, go into the
You
cave.
mean you don't have a physical presence?
What's about to happen will happen, and then out on your way out of the cave, then an avalanche happens.
We will be lost unless we find a new
So again, this used to be like at the beginning
Can you help?
of the story.
Can you use my PDA for storage?
You are not with the group from before. Your cybernetic components bear their signal.
Altera? No, my equipment is, borrowed.
It will have to do.
There's a bridge here.
Yeah, some of this dialogue is different.
Ooh, energy cubes! Perfect! Gimme, 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 gimme.
They look a lot better.
These would definitely be useful.
The ion cubes have been updated to look a lot better.
Whoa.
How long have you been stored here?
Longer than that.
Sanction power critical.
Our data can be downloaded from the terminal. We may speak more once the transfer is complete.
Yes, okay. Hurrying.
Is anybody else thinking that looks like a gigantic Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, I don't think I saw it as a Rubik's Cube. I'm not entirely sure what I remember seeing it as.
You guys sure this is safe?
Yep.
Here goes nothing.
Accepted. Brace for transfer.
Brace?
What? What? What?
What's
What?
happening?
What? What is this? Why? What are you doing? No. Hey, get away from me. Get out of my face. Out of my face.
Transfer complete.
Yeah, so it turns out your brain was what it was transferring into.
How do you feel?
Why do you sound like you're inside my head?
The
Have fun with
facility
that.
identified hospitable capacity within your cerebral cortex.
You are in my head? I offered you my PDA. Get out!
Oh no. Does your kind perceive a boundary between cybernetic and organic components?
My mind is not a component.
You sound angry.
Wow.
We will allow you a moment to process.
Oh, I offered you my PDA. Get out.
Hello?
I got an achievement.
Yep.
This is not.
So again, this story beat used to be a lot earlier,
That's the explanation.
but it's
It's not
still
happening.
kind of funny.
So now I have a voice in my head?
Yep.
So I'm not crazy. I just have a voice in my head.
You literally had an alien conscious forced into your cerebral cortex. There's a reason why that was very painful for Robin.
What do I have to drink?
Cerebral cortex, isn't that with memories?
I don't know.
It was looking for a sufficient memory storage, so if it is, then that would make sense.
Because if I remember correctly, cerebral cortex has to do with memories and your functions as far as, like, say, moving your hands, moving your arms, that sort of thing.
Again, if it's memories, then that makes sense why they wanted to store the memory of the thing in there.
Well, that was interesting.
Yep. Because that particular story beat used to was at the beginning of the game. I can see now why they put it later.
So now, like I said, there's a voice in my head, and I'm not crazy.
Nope. Just gonna have to live with him in there.
Does he even have a name?
Yes, but that's spoilers.
We don't want to talk about spoiler.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
It's late game spoilers, so especially not.
I don't think I'm gonna make the grace period.
There should be an option playing around.
Oxygen.
Unless you just keep going up.
I don't have time to look. Oh, come on, give me the grace period. Come on. Come on. Shit. So close. Did I lose? I lost some things. Oh, great.
Yep. Yeah, so the death screens were a lot quicker in the previous game, but there's a lot of things they need to load now, so it makes sense that it's a little longer. Yeah. Yeah, this is the thing that's in Subnautica as well. In survival mode, if you die, you do lose some of the things you were carrying. Usually it's things you picked up.
Yeah, some things I'm just not reading, you know what I mean?
It's fine. A lot of this stuff is just lore or backstory to the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary to know to understand the story of Below Zero, but it's nice to have if you really want to explore it a little more in depth, or you want to know a little more about some of the background.
We skipped, because we died, we skipped something.
Yeah, so there's his name.
You are probably wondering who I am.
If you got
hold
into
on.
Well, I belong to the people your kind calls architects.
Oh, that's
it is
new.
my understanding that you did not intend to give me
that didn't used to be in the upper left.
Storage medium. Perhaps you will prefer to focus on the construction of a new storage medium to which
there used to not be a thing for when he was talking.
To your data bank. You will need to find the necessary components. It will require a search. I have been disconnected from my network for so long I cannot locate the coordinates.
Huh.
Yeah, so his name has been the same since his conception, so that has not changed. Otherwise, yep.
Well, this game didn't turn left into Weirdville.
It's gotten a little weird. Okay, so you got some basic sea truck stuff because you've now got the sea truck.
I just need to get.
Spoiled. Yeah, it just told you the things it needed to make at the very bottom. He just gave you some blueprints of what to make for him at the very bottom of your list there.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Consider this like the penultimate thing you need to do. Do this later. There.
Oh, stretch. All right. Well.
Yeah. Now you can make the rebreather.
Or do I have the stuff to make it right now?
Probably not, but you can see what you need.
Can make
it's always a good thing to know what you're looking for.
Huh?
It's always a good thing to know what you're looking for.
Wiring kit. Stop that. I need just one more piece of silver.
Yep.
Let's go to Delta Station.
So for the most part, story.
I think I'm doing the story a little out of order.
No, the story does follow this. Pretty much, that particular thing with Alain was, again, at the very beginning, in much earlier builds. I'm guessing that they felt like it didn't flow well if they put it, so they still put it early, but they wanted to make sure that there was a proper reason for you being on the planet other than, oh, you're just in a research base.
Yeah. Red, you still there?
I guess they changed.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just I'm kind of quiet, but yeah, I'm still here.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they decided that it was a little too boring to just have the research base suddenly find alien tech. And so they made it so that it was on Robin's own terms that she came to the planet.
Yeah. Almost to Delta Station.
I'm just kind of quiet because I don't know much about Subnautica, so I'm just kind of...
Watching?
Back here. Yeah, I'm watching.
So what do you think about the alien being stuffed in our heads?
That was really weird, but I can understand why it would be there instead of going, okay, we'd have to get all the way back over here to talk to me, so I'm coming with you.
Yep. It also helps that, again, in earlier builds, it was more of just like, oh, we found this very strange signal in the cave, why don't you go check it out? Oh, this alien signal was weird alien technology, let's go back to the base and find out what happened. Oh no, there was an avalanche!
Give me that.
It seems very...
Coffee!
The story was... eh.
Hey, Red, this one's for you.
I guess I'll see you in a few seconds.
Perfect.
Yeah, coffee vending machine. Yep, there we go.
That one's for you, Red.
Yeah, as far as I know, coffee in both games is sort of a thing
Hold
you can
on.
make.
If you can hear this, you're trespassing.
It makes your water go down a little
It's
bit,
good for you. You'll
but I
get
think it
the
does make you
hell
move a
out
bit
of here.
faster.
Mm.
Just like in real life.
I mean, most games make it so that caffeine or caffeinated products make you go faster in some shape, way, or form.
As you probably drink coffee or caffeinated drinks
Come
while you're playing
back!
said game.
Actually, I haven't had coffee in 3 days.
As I stare at my empty Monster Energy drink can.
See, I don't understand why people like Monster.
It's a bad habit I picked up from college.
Mm.
Well, there's
Literally
also
the only reason I...
the Monster too, so...
It's mostly the juice ones, which have a bit of juice in them, but it's mostly just so I could stay awake for the late night class that was Japanese, because that started at like 6 and went to 8:20. So it was to make sure I stayed awake. Although unfortunately I've had the bad habit before then with most of my late night classes that I've had. Unfortunately, my body doesn't despise the taste, so I just drink it anyway.
Ooh, crystallized
As
sulfur.
far as I know, these weird flower plants do actually generate a bit of heat.
Yeah. You just gotta be careful not to get too close. Come back here.
What do you mean?
I have
You
actually...
can get...
Bye, titanium. I'll never get that back.
Yeah, that'll happen. But, yeah, for the most part, in earlier builds, getting too close to those things wouldn't really do anything other than them just weirdly staring at you.
Well, they kind of... I guess it depends on how close you get, but I did remember getting, like, a burn effect one time.
I think you have to stand, like, right next to them for that to happen.
Maybe.
You have to stand probably real close for that to even happen.
Come on. Stop dropping the titanium and let me pick it up.
It's because of the cave. The problem with...
What?
The unfortunate problem with...
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, lady.
Stop right there, Altera.
Hi, lady.
You're out of bounds.
I'm not with Altera.
Then your position is double.
Oh, yeah, no, that is...
If you're telling the truth,
Hi,
you're
friend.
out of your mind.
Friend?
You are...
There'll be hell to pay.
You learn the name of this woman later, and she only appeared later. I guess she appears now, instead. Also,
Okay.
that particular thing she has on one of her prawn suit's arms is the... I believe it's the mandible of one of the Leviathan creatures that exist around.
As far as my technology will allow.
She uses it as a giant knife, effectively.
future, I hope you will avoid contact with...
It looks like it's a rib cage of one of them too.
I'm among the last of the
It's not a ribcage, it's a mandible.
If you were to compromise your well-being...
Oh crap, that's a big freaking mandible then.
What makes you think she's hostile?
It's part of a Leviathan creature, what do you
A little
expect?
grumpy, maybe, but who wouldn't be?
Yeah, true. If it's a Leviathan, they're freaking huge, and that's the reason Leviathan means big, so yeah.
She is well on.
Maybe she's
In this
afraid
game,
of
there's a lot
us.
less hostile Leviathans, I want to say. I say this with question marks because I don't know if they've added any more since I've last played. But last I checked, there were, I want to say, two? Two. Not counting the Void Leviathan, which is just the recolor of one of them. The original Subnautica had all the Leviathans except for one were hostile. In this game, most of the Leviathans, except for I want to say about two, are non-hostile.
You guys think this is a good stopping
So it's
point?
sort of a turnaround. Yeah, you might want to scan the multipurpose room first, though.
Oh yeah, almost forgot. This will be very useful, yes?
Yep, multipurpose rooms are one of the most useful things you can have for base building.
So, like I said, you think we should call it here?
Really good idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably a pretty good idea.
So, we have an alien implanted in our heads. Yes. We
The
have
least weird thing that's ever happened.
a lady tried to attack us in a prawn suit with a freaking blade on it.
You got some cool upgrades that you needed.
This is true.
You
So,
actually seem to go a little faster than the last time.
well, remember, practice in old habits, you know?
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going back to Monday next week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. So until next Monday, stay happy, stay healthy, don't do anything stupid. And this has been AJ.
This is Rooster.
And Ashtar.
You guys have a great week and we'll see you on Monday. Bye!
Bye.